Hello, my lovely teachers. I'm Meenakshi Narula at Mentoring the Mentors. Once again, I'm here with you to share another amazing strategy. As you can see in the pictures, 2 stars and 1 wish. And how does it work? What does it meant for? It is actually an assessment strategy, can be used for self-assessment or maybe for peer assessment. It's a wonderful strategy. Like, nowadays our children, they are creating their portfolios, maybe in hard copy, maybe the e-portfolios. For that, we always talk about portfolios are it's kind of assessment. It's a kind of assessment where we talk about 360-degree assessment, where the child evaluates himself or herself, where the child gets feedback from his peer as well, right? Peers in the group, they assess each other's work. And then we have assessment by the teacher, and we include assessment by the parents as well, right? For that, there can be number of different strategies that you can use. And here I'm going to discuss about one wonderful strategy, that is 2 stars and a wish. How does this strategy work? This strategy, as I've already told you, can be used in either of the way, peer assessment or self-assessment, right? So here it is, as you can see here in the image. When the child will be assessing his or her work, the child would be talking about, my favorite part was when. I mean, during the process of the project or the activity, the child would be able to highlight the best part. Like, what did he like to do more? Okay. And then I like about his likes, her likes, right? And for the next time, how you can do better. So this is how this strategy works. We will be talking about more about, different alternatives or variations for this strategy. As you can see in the image, we're talking about peer assessment, self-assessment. Certainly, it's a success criteria as well. Perfecting our work when we get to know about plus and minus in our work so that we can improve. We get to know about the next steps. So here you go. You also know about here, you can see on the screen, it's written feed forward. We always talk about feedback, that we use to give any kind of comments, remarks to our students for the work submitted by them, right? If we talk about feed forward is our feedback should help the students to lead to next steps, right? So that they'll be able to perform better. Good to better, better to best, right? Sky is the limit. We should keep on motivating our students, inspiring our students to do better. Certainly, I would like to add one thing over here, that I always advise my students and my teachers, right? And this is for me as well. Never make better the enemy of the best. You are doing well, but there is a scope. Don't get discouraged. If you could not do well in the first go, we know. About so many great famous personalities. They have failed thousands of times and still they never give in, right? So let us do our level best. So here you go, 2 stars and 1 wish is one way that we can assess our work, decide how happy we are with the piece of work, whether it has answered the questions asked well, or it can be improved, right? So we will be talking about how the strategy can be used as self-assessment and as peer assessment in the upcoming slides. So how to use it? First of all, we need to look at the answer or responses or the piece of the work that is done well. And we will be giving 2 stars, right? For example, we need to pick out 2 things or aspects that were done well, right? And pick out one thing or a place or an aspect that could be improved, like 1 wish, right? 2 positives and 1 area of improvement wherever we feel like. Now, next, if I talk about self-assessment, it means working yourself on your own to see what you did well and where to improve. It involves looking closely at your work, whatever I have done, my project, my portfolio, my any kind of activity, assignment, my art integrated project. It can be anything, right? Two things that you are really happy with, and one thing that you wish you could improve. Now, how to self-assess? Different criterias, different alternatives we will be talking. As I know now, or maybe I need to know, right? Explain what you have learned from the lesson or the topic, or what you still like to learn or like to spend time getting better. This is related to any activity, any chapter, any content you have discussed, and you will be talking about what I know. These are the 2 stars that I know I am good at, and I am not good at something, and you will be highlighting the point. 2 stars and a wish. And maybe you'll be talking about what went well. After completion of an activity, you will be able to write what 2 things went well in the activity, and even better if, what could you improve in your work? This is self-assessment, right? And it's like avoid easy comments about spellings, handwriting, right? I mean to say, unless you can't read it, right? It's all about the work. It's not about always we are talking about handwriting, neatness and all. We need to focus on one aspect at a time, that I discussed in my last strategy as well. I mean, yesterday we were talking about plus, minus, and equals. If you have missed it, please go and check on my channel, Mentoring the Mentors, right? And here, how will it work for peer assessment? As you can see there in the image also, I mean, there is a template for peer assessment. For that, you may do one thing. You may share sticky notes with your students and display other students' work as a gallery walk or in your class on the display boards, and ask your students to visit each and every place where the work has been displayed, and they will be sharing their feedback in the form of sticky notes, right? They'll be writing. I mean, it's up to you how you want to go ahead with. I mean, you want to share anonymous feedback, or you want to give the feedback by a particular student, you want to highlight the name. That depends upon you, right? How you want to go ahead with that. And they can put on the sticky notes over those places. And later, if teacher would really want to be a facilitator, you can collect all those sticky notes, right? Share with your students. I mean, you can use a document camera that is there in the smart boards. You can just highlight and show it to others. Or simply, if it is not available, you can just read the comments, the feedback given by the students, and even you can ask the students to vote for the best feedback, right? The best improvement feedback, maybe the 2 stars and a wish, right? That depends upon a teacher, how you want to facilitate this very activity in your class, okay? So next we are talking about peer assessment, means working with another person to see that what you did well and where to improve. This can be really very helpful, as sometimes it is great to get another view, another perspective for your own work. And, sometimes it becomes very hard for us, for students as well. We feel short of words. We are not able to understand how to give the feedback. So there are some clues too. As you can see in the image, I mean, for 2 stars, you can write, I like this very thing in your work, or maybe my work. We're talking about self-assessment or peer assessment. What did you enjoy? What did you learn? Right? Any particular aspect that you liked? I mean, particular strategy you used, you want to appreciate the work, okay? And I'm proud of myself because of so and so. So these kind of starters can be used. These are the prompts that you can use while framing the sentences for giving the feedback. Next, for wish, I would like, dash was a bit difficult, I tried to use, and I would like to help you. And like that, I mean, you'll be able to frame various kinds of sentences. So here are another sentences that can be used as starters or the prompts for the peer assessment. What went well? The things you did well were dash 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 so and so. I feel you did well with a particular aspect you want to highlight. You should be very proud of. The best part of your work is, okay, like this you will be able to highlight. Even better if. To improve your work, you need to include so and so, maybe to highlight this very particular thing. Okay, next time you work on this topic, you need to be very much prepared, or maybe highlight all those things, maybe present your work in an effective manner. Your next step should be, you'll be able to give the advice, okay, the wish. So this is how you'll be able to use this strategy. This strategy is a great help for reflecting on your own learning, figuring out how to improve your learning. Just think about one step forward, one way to improve. This is what we expect from our students, right? Keep on improving every day, right? Now, it's also great for looking at the effectiveness of the piece of the writing, like feedback technique. One thing that the writer did well. For example, you have given any persuasive writing, creative writing, any piece of work that you have given to your students, right? And peers can assess and they can highlight. I mean, one thing the writer did well, a different thing that the writer did well, right? And something you wish the writer would change to improve the text, maybe vocabulary, using good words, right? And using some kind of synonyms, avoid repeating similar kind of words. So this is how, I mean, these kind of suggestions can be given. So here, as you can see on the screen, it is like teachers may use this strategy to give you feedback. As a teacher, if any work is being given to me, submitted to me, I have to give the feedback. So either as a teacher, I can get these kind of templates, blank templates printed, and I'll distribute it to the students. Like, dear students, when you submit your work, make sure you stick this template in your notebook so that it becomes easy for the teacher to give the feedback over there. Okay. Or maybe they can simply on one piece of paper, they can make this template and stick it over there. Otherwise, another option is if they have done the work on a notebook, and what they can do is they can simply draw and write these sentences. Always make it a habit. Yes, after completing our work, we have to make this kind of particular format, and our teacher will be able to give feedback to us. So these templates should be there and can be practiced in routine, right? Now, here it's like you can also mix it. Peer assessment and self-assessment. You can mix both the assessments, as you can see on the screen. For example, a student writes about his or her own work, what is going well in the work, right? And the peer also gives an assessment like, is there any element that is particularly successful, or what can be done to improve? This is how the same can be done. I mean, you can either use as self-assessment, peer assessment, or you can even mix both of them. Now, as teachers, how we can use this strategy? I mean, every week we used to have different kind of teaching strategies that we include in our class to make our teaching learning effective. Okay. And it depends how frequently we change our strategy, how frequently we bring innovation in our class, right? It depends upon us, varies from teachers to teachers. So think about the strategy in the coming week that you are using. Think about this strategy. I mean, I'm sharing it with you today, and you will be using this strategy in the coming week with your students. What are you happy about your work? What could it be improved? Right? This is how the same can be done, and you can do it with the students as well. Now you'll be able to see some of the templates that I have gathered, I have collected, I have compiled, right? So you may use these templates. This is another template. You can use various kinds of smileys, emoticons as well, right? It depends upon you how you want to go ahead. I mean, little children, they would really love to have different kinds of smileys, okay? And you can use it. You can have those stickers also. Let the children stick those stickers in their notebook and submit their work. Either they can put smileys or they can put stickers of stars and a wish. This is how they can go ahead. I mean, art integration they can do, right? Peer assessment format. I mean, if you do not want to write anything, do not want to highlight, the children, they'll be able to get to know, yes, by looking at the stars and a wish. So they are the different formats. You can use them in your class. You can get them printed, photocopied, and distribute in your class, right? This is how you can use this. And here on the screen, there is something, the power of yet. Power of yet. Yet is very powerful. I'm no good at this. Yet. I tried. I can't do this. Yet. I did it to some extent. I don't understand this. Yet. It doesn't work. Yet. It doesn't make sense. Yet. So let us realize the power of yet. 2 stars and a wish. We did this good. We did this good. I mean, yet there is scope of improvement. We'll be able to do that. So my lovely teachers, thank you very much for listening to me. And please make sure you use these strategies in your class. And I keep on waiting for your comments in the comment section below. Use these strategies, share your experience with me. I do not always expect like good, appreciable efforts. You may also give suggestions to me, 2 stars and a wish. Okay, please do give this kind of feedback to me in the comment section below. Use this strategy in your class and share your experience with me. This is how we'll be able to communicate. Wishing you all the very best for your upcoming week when you will be using this strategy in your class. Thank you once again from Meenakshi Narula at Mentoring the Mentors.